So, let us set out on a little mini adventure of our own together this time. And I will show you... You... Creepers. Anyway, on a little mini adventure of our own together to show you this little interesting thing that I found. So when I went to go get the pine saplings, I actually went off to the winter biomes that were over there. I was also hoping to run into some weather, which is something that I have yet to come across since the 1.5 update came out, but I guess that has a lot to do with the fact that I've had almost no time to play the game. So, ended up finding no snow over in the winter biome, but I did find some pine trees, chopped them down, but only ended up with 2 saplings. One of them I replanted from the tree that I chopped down, and the other one I brought back that you guys just saw. So, when I wanted to go get some birch saplings, I recalled that, hey, didn't we go over this way and get some birch? Why, yes, we did. So, I headed out this way myself. Now, while we're headed over this way, something I wanted to talk about. You guys may have noticed that there might be a video or two that I have said might be... Hey, look, iron. There might be some videos that I talked about putting up that you have not seen yet, and I don't mean me being very late with this LP lately. What I do mean, however, is the 300 subscriber thank you video. And... there was something else. But let me go ahead and talk about this one first. The 300 subscriber video. Every time I sat down to try and record that, I just could not come up with a good way of making it seem interesting or worth putting out. So I think what I'll go ahead and do is just talk about what was going to be in it right now. Basically, as a thank you to all of you wonderful guys who, by the way, we're almost near 400 now, so a thank you for 300 video would make very little sense at this point. Basically, I have created a website, and I'm going to go ahead and flash the address on the screen right now. You guys can go take a look at it. I did a little bit of work on it. It's more or less just a plain vanilla WordPress right now. So if anyone out there is good with the graphics or wants to come up with a theme for the website, for the WordPress thing, by all means, I would love to see what you guys can do. I'm sure there's some very talented people out there. Anyway, what you can find there right now is more or less I will try and keep you guys up to date with the more long-term kinds of things, like every time a new episode comes out or anytime there's going to be something big happening. I'll usually put a post up there about that. We're in the area right now, so I'm just going to be wandering in circles while I finish talking about this. You didn't see that. Anyway, what you can also find there is a world map of sorts. I don't know if you guys have seen the Tectonicus world map generator. It more or less takes the Google Earth engine and maps your world to a Google Earth style thing. So like when you go to Google Maps and you can zoom in and way in, and then it's like you're looking at your front door kind of thing. Same thing. I've got that up on the website right now. And also, I have a page where I've got links to all these, every episode of this LP that I've released so far. Currently, it's just links to the YouTube page, but if there's enough interest, I was planning on actually uploading the episodes to the website, and you guys could download the original videos and their super wonderful, unmessed with by YouTube quality. I know when I first mentioned this idea way back, there wasn't very much interest, so I've decided to hold off, because honestly, that's a lot to upload. Anyway, something else that I was going to talk about in the video, I have set up myself a Twitter account. I'll go ahead and flash that name up there real quick. It's basically the exact same as my account here on YouTube, just, you know, with the @ sign in front. And that I tend to use for my more short-term updates, like if there's ever going to be a problem with me getting an episode out. You know, it's like, oh, so I couldn't, I ran out of time, something came up, you know, my car fell off a cliff, things like that, you know, little things. So I've got those 2 things out there to help keep you guys up to date, something that you guys can easily stick with that isn't just checking the YouTube channel page, because I know that's not a thing that many people do very often. Anyway, I think I have blathered long enough. I wanted to go ahead and show you the interesting thing that I found while I was headed out that way for birch trees. And I'm sure you guys have already seen it, but whatever. Another zombie dungeon! A surface zombie dungeon. Now that is kind of fun and rare. And what are you winking at me for? You... No. It's almost like he knows that if he takes 2 more steps, he's going to be in the sun and it's going to kill him. Of course, headshot with an arrow is going to do the same thing. Ha. So, I think what I'd like to do is drop down in here without taking too much damage, and just go ahead and lock this place down real quick. And we can leave whatever it is that we're going to do with this for a much, much later date. But I figured since I already stumbled across it, I thought I would show you guys what was here. I think I looked in this chest, but not this one. So, this is new to me too. Ooh. At least shift-click is very handy for these kinds of things now. Okay, well let me just go ahead and break these down. That should be easier. That's a lot of saddles. Which actually reminds me. Isn't there an achievement for that? The only problem, I think, is that as I've had almost no time to play, I don't think I have the prereqs to actually take care of that. Let's see. Make a wooden sword, I think, is what that one is. Kill a cow, ride a pig. At least that's my guess on what those are. Okay. Oh. I thought it would be very interesting to show you guys this surface dungeon. I've never actually seen one before. Not one that was completely exposed at daylight, anyway. There have been some times where I ran across one where, sort of like at the beginning of Chapter 5, I think, our exploration chapter, right up in that area, I believe, we ran across some zombies in a tiny cave that I thought was maybe a spawner. Same thing happened to me in a SMP world that I played with a friend a long time ago. Turns out that one was actually a dungeon, so that's the closest I've ever come to actually seeing a surface spawner. So, see, I'm trying to think of what that other video was that I was going to have out for you guys, but also never got around to finding a good way to do it. Well, I can't think of anything, but if I do, I will definitely mention whatever that was when I come back, as I'm going to do my usual end of a chapter thing where I'm going to take some time, sit back, and think about what our options are going to be for Chapter 8. Yes, Chapter 8. I can't believe we are this close to, well, 10 chapters. I mean, that's just crazy that we've been going so long. That we're probably going to be pretty close to 80 episodes by the time we get there. Just, wow. So, thanks guys for watching this far. I'll be back in a few seconds, and I will have your options for Chapter 8. Okay guys, I am back, and I am ready to go over your options for Chapter 8. I think this is some kind of new record for me. It actually only took me about another 30-45 minutes to come up with these options, as opposed to the almost a week, as it usually does. Anyway, but before I go into that, I finally remembered the other video that I was talking about that you guys may have noticed is missing, and that would be the Fun with Minecraft Beta Update 1.5 video. As it turns out, the night that Notch released 1.5, I don't exactly recall what was happening, but I do know it was one of those nights where I was just so exhausted I did not feel like recording at all. It's just, you know, one of those nights. I'm sure you guys understand. And by the time I did get around to going, you know, I should get one out, and then it was day after day kept passing, and it's like, well, anyone out there doesn't know what's in 1.5, I'm sure they do by now, or know where to look, or have been watching other LPs that people have been running around and showing off all the cool stuff. So, sorry I didn't get that out in time. Depending on what kind of bug fixes Notch is actually going to be implementing in the 1.6 update, we may or may not get another video then, so it all depends as to whether or not some of these bug fixes are actually of any interest. Anyway, into your choices for Chapter 8. Number 1. Kind of a radical one, but I think most of these choices this chapter are going to be somewhat radical. Number 1. Move. Yes. Kinda crazy. We just built our farm, we just built 2 factories, and our house is an amazing structure that why would we ever want to leave? Well, I gotta say, I think part of the reason this has come up is all the fixing and new bugs Notch has added in recently that have more or less rendered a lot of my work for the chapters thus far more or less worthless in my mind. All the time and frustration I put with putting in that awesome tunnel from Resurrection Station to the house. I mean, even building Resurrection Station and that fountain out there for Lindhol Marin. It's like, well, there's no point, that we're never going to get back there. So, what I was thinking is that maybe one of those awesome places we ran across during the exploration chapter, maybe go back to one of those and start anew. Number 2, you guys have been asking for this for quite some time, and now that I think we are definitely well supplied up, I think I'm finally ready. We're going to head into the Nether. Yes, the Nether. But that's of course only if that is the winning choice. Now what I was thinking for this one was it would be just, we'd run in, do a little exploring, and set up a basic base, and see how to go on from there. Nothing too complicated, hopefully not too many deaths, but we'll see how things go, and whatever you guys have to say about that. And number 3. I know I just badmouthed Resurrection Station in the tunnel in the house, but for those of you guys who do want to stay, and I'll admit, part of me does want to stay, because, I mean, it is actually really nice, and we did just build this farm and the Arrow Factory. Finally take some of our iron and build some mine tracks from Resurrection Station to the house. And I know what you guys are thinking, but your bed is on the 2nd floor of the house. Why would you ever need to go back to Resurrection Station? Well, to answer that little question, if you chose this, I would actually move the bed to the basement of Resurrection Station, thereby preserving the original spawn point that the game has used for, I don't even know, since the first time Notch added spawn points to the game. And so that way, all those plans that you guys had, or all those plans I had, and all those things you guys wanted to see, using tracks all the way out, and especially now that we have booster tracks and detector tracks, that we can actually go ahead and get some really cool stuff out of all that. Anyway, those are your 3 options for Chapter 8. So, as I always say, be sure to make your choice by giving a thumbs up to your favorite option in the comment section below for the little pseudo poll that I set up. And be sure to reply as a comment to your favorite option if you have any specifics that you'd like to see happen with that particular choice. You know, for example... Well, never mind. No for examples this time. I don't want to pollute anyone's thoughts. I do have ideas for each one of these, so I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say for them as well. And I guess one last thing before I go. Sometime after Chapter 8 starts, I have a video that I'll be posting that's got some questions for you guys about the future of this channel. So I hope you guys end up watching that and can give me some serious feedback on it. I definitely want to hear from all of you. Let's see, what else? I think that's about it. So, this has probably been the shortest chapter yet. Hopefully you guys haven't minded the shorter episodes, as I've been trying to take what little content was in this chapter and stretch it out to a little bit longer. So, as I said before, we are nearing 400 subscribers, so thank you, all of you. You people are awesome. And be sure to keep rating and commenting and subscribing. And hopefully this show will go on forever. So, this has been Nocturne. I hope you guys have been enjoying, and I will see you in Chapter 8.